Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. In today's video, I want to talk about what I read in a weekend. And I have a couple of books that I'm in the middle of that I want to talk to you guys about, and that hopefully I can finish this weekend because I just need to get some of them off my TBR. So the first book is A Soul of Ash and Blood by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and this is like the fifth book in the From Blood and Ash series, and I'm about 150 pages into it so far. And okay, so this book is not at all what I thought it was going to be. It's not really a continuation of the From Blood and Ash series. It's actually Castiel's point of view of everything that happened in the first book. Basically, the premise is that after whatever happened in the last From Blood and Ash book, which was the War of Two Queens, there was like this big battle, and then afterwards Poppy goes into stasis and she's like in this deep sleep. Castiel starts to tell her like the story of how they met from his point of view. And so I'm about 150 pages in right now. It's kind of hard to get through, I'm not gonna lie, because I already know everything that happens. Like, I read all of this like 2.5 years ago at this point, and so like I really want to know just like what's gonna happen next in the whole world of the From Blood and Ash like storyline, but instead we're going like back in time. Also, I probably sound horrible, and that's because I'm like sick. Like, I'm like so sick right now. I probably don't look as sick as I feel because I put on makeup so I wouldn't look like I was dying. On the bright side, I now have no plans for this weekend, so hopefully I can get a lot of reading done. I'm also like 50 pages into this book, Lee Howard and the Ghost of Simmons Pierce Manor, and this one was, I talked about it in my last video, but basically I found out about this book because it went viral on TikTok. There was like an author the author of this book, Sean M. Warner, I guess, was sitting somewhere like in public and nobody was buying his books, and he had just like a stack of books out in front of him, and someone saw it and just like felt bad for this author who like had no one come to read his books at his book signing. And so he made a TikTok about it, and the TikTok went viral, and then he was like on the news, and I don't know, now I that convinced me, that was enough for me to read it and want to support him. And so I picked it up from Barnes & Noble, and I started it this week, and at first I thought it was going to be like a YA mystery, and I was like, okay, perfect fall vibes, but it's actually not YA. It was like, I mean, at least I don't think it is. Like, I was like 4 pages in. I'm on page 50 now, but I was 4 pages in, and they were already talking about darker themes, and so I was like, oh, okay, maybe this is like an adult murder mystery. Elise just basically found out that the police have no leads on what's happened with her parents, and she's kind of determined. She makes up her mind that she wants to do something about it, that she doesn't want to just like sit still. She wants to find out what happened with her parents. So I think this is actually going to be like a really, really good read for fall, because it's like murder mystery, and I really have no expectations because I didn't know anything about this book when I bought it. Like, I literally just bought it because I saw this TikTok about it, and so yeah, I mean, I'll keep you guys updated, but it's not long. It's like a little under 300 pages, so I hope that I can finish it this weekend at least. And then the next thing I really want to get started on is Things We Left Behind. My copy just came in the mail. I was so excited about this. This was like, this was the release that I was waiting for, I mean, all year. Like, probably my most anticipated release. I love the Knock 'Em Out series. I binged the first one, like Things We Never Got Over. I read that within like a day and a half, I think. It was amazing, and I loved it so much. And then Things We Hide from the Light actually was a little bit of a letdown for me. I just like didn't connect as well with Helena and her story and Nash, but regardless, I was like always so excited. I knew I wanted Lucian Sloane's story from the moment I met them in the first book, and so I'm so excited to read this, and so I want to finish one of the other books so that I can start this book. So that's the weekend goal. Okay, I have already read this book I finished this book earlier this week, and that's The Stolen Heir by Holly Black. And I just want to talk to you about it because I just need someone to talk to about it. This will have spoilers. Like right now, if you haven't read the book and you want to read the book, just skip ahead. I will say when I'm like done saying spoiler things. But I mean, I just need someone to talk to about it because this had me shocked. The ending had me shocked. Okay, so the beginning of the book, you spend like the first half of the book being like, okay, I feel so bad for Ren. Like you feel so bad for Ren as a main character. Like she's just this young girl who like grew up thinking that she was like part of a human family, and then at some point she gets ripped away from them and then like gets brought into Elfate. She has no family, she has no friends, she just sits in the woods like by herself, and so you feel horrible for her. And then one day Oak comes and Oak is like, hey, I need help. And basically what happened was that Maddox, who's Oak's father, got captured. From the beginning you could tell that Oak was into Ren. She just couldn't put it together because she obviously has had like no social interaction with people. Like she hasn't ever had a friend, she hasn't ever been to school, and so she doesn't really know like how people interact with each other. All within like 100 pages, Ren loses her tongue, grows back her tongue, gets stabbed, finds out she has this like magical heart in her, ends the whole battle, takes control of the palace, and then takes Oak prisoner. But she still likes him. Spoilers are over. That's all I had to say. Just wanted to get off my chest that I was shocked. I mean, it was a great book. Like, I gave The Stolen Heir 4.5 stars. That was really good and really action-packed. I think I like this spin-off more than the Cruel Prince trilogy, which is kind of crazy to say because I like the Cruel Prince trilogy a lot, but I don't know, it's more that I like Cardan and Jude than like the whole backstory of whatever's going on. Here, I feel like the adventure is just as good as the romance, which was not what I thought was going on in the Cruel Prince trilogy. I thought that the romance was what kept me reading the Cruel Prince trilogy, even though it's like such a small subplot of what's going on, and I was actually kind of so disinterested in all the political stuff. But here I'm interested in like the adventure and like the backstory, but I'm like equally as invested in Oak and Ren's love story that you like know is coming. That's everything I had to say about The Stolen Heir. Now, getting back into the reading vlog, it's currently Friday at 6. I'm actually in the city right now, but I'm gonna go back to New Jersey and go spend the weekend at my mom's house and hang out with my dog and just chill. And so I'll give you guys a reading update when I read later on tonight. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Hey guys, so it's a little later. I'm at home at my mom's house in New Jersey, and I got to like page 100 of this book, so that's what I've been doing tonight. It's now like 11:45, yeah, and basically this is getting really good. Like I had no expectations for this going in, but I'm really enjoying this so far. The murder mystery is heating up. She's still not able to make a whole lot of headway, but you can tell that something's like definitely not off and she's missing information. And it's also interesting because she's befriending this ghost that lives in the house, but she knows like no one else is gonna believe her that there's like a ghost living in the house, so she's kind of keeping it to herself. She has no one else to talk to about it. And yeah, it's her, this ghost, and that's really the only hope she has to like solve her parents' murders. So it's really interesting so far, and I really want to see what happens next. Like I have just really no idea where it's going, and I feel like a lot of like thriller-ish books are either one way or the other. Like either they're murder type plots or ghost type plots, but I feel like you never really see like crossover. But this book has like a crossover of both, and that's why I think it's it's such a good fall read, but it's not like too scary either, because I feel like a lot of times I'll like put off reading like a thriller because I'm like, okay, if it's gonna be too scary, I kind of avoid it for a while. But no, this is really good. And so yeah, that's all I've read tonight, and now it's like almost midnight and I'm so tired. So I'm just gonna go to bed and I'll update you guys more tomorrow. Hi guys, so it's Saturday and I haven't updated because I actually haven't read it all today, but I just got home and I did go to Barnes & Noble and I got a few new books, so I'm gonna share that. But there's like this like crazy storm in town, so I've just been like literally lying in bed all day, basically doing nothing. So yeah, I haven't really read anything, but I'm gonna read now for the rest of the night. I'm in my mom's like reading room at home. I don't know, it has the best vibes in here. Now I'm gonna show everything I got at Barnes. So I got King of Pride. This is like Anna Huang's like newest series that she's coming out with. And I read the first one, which is King of Wrath. And then this is the second book, and King of Pride, and I read this already, loved it, but I didn't own like the physical copy. So picked this up. Hey Scooby. Hi, this is my dog Scooby. So cute. Love you. What are you doing? Okay, he wants to hang out. I got Scooby when he was 2 years old from the SPCA, and now he's 10. I love him. He's the best thing ever. But yeah, then I got Killjoy, which is like Holly Black's novella from A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and Good Girl Bad Blood like 2 years ago, and then I didn't read anything else in the series. But I figured that if I'm gonna get back into the series, like novella is like an easy way to do it because it's just like short, fast. I don't know. Okay, bye. I also got What Happened to the Bennets. I heard Read by Sophie, I think, talk about this. And it looked really good. I think this is basically about a man who's driving his family home one night, and then like a pickup truck comes out of nowhere and then begins tailgating them, then stops them, and then there's like this confrontation. There's like a bunch of violence that ensues. I don't know. Basically, then there's like a confrontation, and like whatever happens from that confrontation makes the family have to go into witness protection program. And then yeah, that's literally as much as I know about it. I literally don't know anything about this besides the fact that Reads by Sophie like recommended this on her Bookstagram, and yeah, I don't know, it looked really good. And I want to make a video in October about just like fall reads or like Halloween spooky books. So I don't know if I like it, maybe I'll include it in this book, or maybe I'll just like talk about it in general. I don't know, looked really good, and so I picked that up as well. And that's all I got from Barnes. But now I want to see if I can finish this book tonight. It's actually getting really good. I'm at page 100 is where I think I stopped last night. Basically, not much has happened besides the fact that Lee has started like interacting with the ghosts that live in the house, or basically it's just one ghost. So Lee's been interacting with the ghost that lives in the house, but like nobody else in the house knows it. And you still have like the murder mystery that she's trying to solve, like of her parents. So yeah, I want to see if I can finish this tonight. That would be great. I literally have no other plans. Okay, update on the Lee Howard book. It's like hard because I feel bad for her because obviously like her parents died and she's like trying to solve this like mystery of what happened to them, but she's just going about it in like the worst way ever. Like I feel like all other murder mysteries I've read, there's the main character has like a plan of how they're gonna accomplish I don't know, getting to some answers, and she has no plan, which it's like understandable, right? Because if something so tragic happened in your life, like, you probably wouldn't be thinking clearly. But at the same time, I'm like frustrated for her, because there's no way she's gonna get any answers like this. There's just like no plan to her investigating what happened. She's kind of just like seeing whatever falls into her lap, just like blatantly asking people, did you like hurt my parents? And it's like, girl, like, no one's gonna, like, that's not how you're gonna find the truth, like just like random people confessing that you find. So it's just like stressful to see her like kind of being reckless and then kind of not having a plan, and you know she's probably not getting any results, so you're not really getting anywhere with her. So I don't know, that's where I am. I'm now on page 117, so we'll see what happens. Okay, update. I feel like she's actually making progress now on this mystery. Like, she has direction, she's eliminating people, she's like figuring out how she's going to go about getting information, which I think is progress. She's really building a bond with Myra, so she's like not alone, has someone her age who's like there for her to talk to. And so yeah, that's where we are. I'm on page 167 now. I think I'll just like update when I finish it next, unless something like crazy happens between now and then. Okay, I'm back in my room. I just finished this book, and it was actually amazing. It was so much better than I thought it was gonna be. Like, I would give this 4 stars. Wait, in the background you could see my dog. He's just sleeping, but he's sleeping in this like crazy position. You can just see like one of his little legs there. Oh, Scooby, he's knocked. I feel like nobody sleeps as deep as a pit bull sleeps, if that makes sense. To anyone that's like thinking of reading this, that saw like this being posted about online, was like, oh, I'm not really sure. I think this is a perfect book for fall, honestly. It was like so satisfying, the ending, but there was also a lot of suspense at the end, which I wasn't expecting, because I think I talked about this yesterday. So there's different types of thrillers, right? There's murder mysteries, there's like action-packed, really fast-paced thrillers, and there's more like paranormal ghost stuff. And I think this book does a really good job of like incorporating all 3 of those into one book and making the story still make sense and not having it feel like overcrowded by a bunch of different tropes. If you just never read a thriller in general and you're like, I'm not sure what my taste is, what I would like the most, I would say read this, because it does a really good job of bringing like every single type of thriller trope into one book and leaving you with a satisfied ending. Like, my heart was beating along with the character. I was like, what's gonna happen next? Like, what's gonna happen next? And I feel like it's kind of rare that a thriller makes me feel that way. Like, sometimes I'll read a thriller book and either, most of the time, I'm just like underwhelmed by the ending. I'm not like, my heart's not pounding, I'm not like super invested. I'm like, oh, that's how this is going to end. But that wasn't this book. I was like, I need to know what happens, and I need to know what happens now. And so yeah, it's like, this was a really good book. It's now like 11:15, so I don't think I'm gonna start anything else. Those are all of my Saturday updates, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Hi, today's Sunday, it's like 6 p.m. I haven't read it all today, but I'm gonna start reading now for a bit before dinner. My sister and her boyfriend are coming for dinner, so I'll take a break for that and then I'll come back. I've literally have not done anything today. It's still like storming outside and rainy, so I slept in, and then I did go to Ulta and I got this Dior lip oil. I've been wanting this for so long, Not that anyone cares at all. Okay, last night I mentioned giving this 4 stars, but after thinking it over, I think I have to change my rating to 3.5 stars actually, because as I was like thinking it over late last night, I was like, there are some plot holes here, and I don't think they fully got resolved by the end of the story. I mean, it's still really good. I would definitely still recommend this book, and I did enjoy it. Like, I liked it. And as the author's like first novel, I think this is like an amazing first novel. But yeah, I think there were some things that like could have been more fleshed out by the ending and like weren't completely tied up with a bow by the end of the story, and like some things that I had questions about. And so whenever like a story leaves me with questions and like there's not supposed to be, I don't know, for me, I always think like, okay, that means like something is not as developed as maybe it could be. But I still really enjoyed it. I still think it's really good. And then late last night I was thinking, I was like, okay, what do I want to read today? Do I want to read something that I got like yesterday from Barnes? Like I was like, do I want to read Killjoy? Which apparently is like the prequel to a Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. So I was like, do I want to read Killjoy? But then I was like, okay, no, I don't think I do, because I started just like looking at Things We Left Behind last night, and I just like started it, and I read like the first 2 chapters super late last night, just because I was like, I just want to see, like, is this what I want to read like Sunday? Is this what I'm in the mood for? Like, I'm not sure. And then so I started it, and I was like intending to just read like the first 5 pages and be like, okay, and then I'll continue tomorrow. And then I read the first 2 chapters, and I was like, this is just exactly what I've been waiting for. Like, I really needed to read a romance. Like, I've been waiting to read a really good romance, and I feel like I've been reading slower as well, because I've been reading all these like fantasy books, and fantasy just takes so much longer to get into for me, because like once the ball's rolling, like it's fast and I love it so much, but like the world building is always like so complicated, and like figuring out like the political things, and sometimes you just want like easy romance set in the real world. And this is like my Super Bowl. Like, I'm so excited about Things We Left Behind. Like, I waited for this since I read the first book, and it's finally here. So I think that what I'm gonna do is probably just like binge read this the entire night and see how far I get, but like I'll update as I go along. Okay, so it's now 1 a.m. and I've stayed up just like binging this after dinner. Honestly, it was like a little bit confusing at first, because there's like 3 different plot lines going on at the same time. Like, there's like the whole plot line currently of what's going down between Lucien and Sloane. Then there's like the plot line of whatever happened 20 years ago to like make them enemies in the first place. And there's also the plot line of like this mob situation that's like been going on in between the entire series. The slow burn is burning. I mean, finally, it's been like 280 pages. This is what I've been waiting for I don't know, like a year. I'm so excited about this. I'm so happy. Like, I've read for like 5 hours straight tonight just to get to this point, and now I'm happy. I can be done for the night. So yeah, that's my update. That's all I wanted to say. It's like super late, but this has basically been everything I've read in the weekend. Like, to recap, I finished the Lee Howard and the Ghost of Simmons Pierce Manor book. I didn't touch A Soul of Ash and Blood, which I just want to finish it. I just want to have it done. So maybe I'll get to that sometime this week, but it's just so hard to continue to read it when I know everything that's going to happen. Like, I already read all of this in the first From Blood and Ash. That's everything I read in a weekend. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you are interested, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.